Let's do it.
Hello again, rabid internet fan base. Welcome back to the Hemingway Land YouTube channel for this, the 4th week of pumpkin spice season. The greatest time of year, guys. Anyway, a lot going on here at the North American offices of Hemingway Land this past week, people. Sold that new property, the one we listed last Friday in Torrance County's Rancho Escondido subdivision. Sold that one super fast, toot sweet, a lot of interest in that one. Sold out by the time Monday rolled around. If you, people, were one of the many people who inquired about that property, you'll be glad to know that we, I believe, have one working its way slowly through the acquisitions pipeline. Another one in that same region. Actually, I believe it's like, 5 or 7 lots over from that one. So if you missed out on that one, another one coming soon. That's number one. Number two, we had someone leave a comment on the YouTube channel last week referring to me as a land pimp. And you can always tell the generation of person using that word based on whether they mean it in a flattering or unflattering way. This person meant it in an unflattering way, so their comment was summarily deleted. Whatever the case, the comment was essentially the crux of the comment was like, why are you selling land in New Mexico? It's a terrible place to live because blah, 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 blah. And then it was quoting statistics. And the statistics were like 0.07% more mercury in the water than nationwide, or what, I don't know. But they were nuts. They were nutty statistics. And it's like, crazy people, come on, find a different YouTube channel on which to leave comments. My God. Anyway, in addition, guys, also this past week, Robert Redford died, as you all know, which means I've been rewatching, I won't say a lot of Redford films because I've seen all of the major ones, and most of them are major ones. Most of that whole filmography is really good. It's Butch Cassidy, it's The Sting, it's 3 Days of the Condor, All the President's Men, Out of Africa, etc. Seen all those, seen them many times. I have, however, been going through some of the deep cuts that I either hadn't seen or hadn't seen in a long time. Things like Brubaker, things like Havana, etc. When it comes to the deep cuts, however, Spy Game, Last Castle, The Hot Rock, guys. Most people have not seen The Hot Rock, and it's a really good movie from the early 70s that he did. I'm surprised at how little seen that film is. Anyway, if you're looking to catch up on your Robert Redford filmography, The Hot Rock is one you should start with. Whatever the case, because of the Redford filmography rewatch, I, for the first time, watched Legal Eagles this past week. Daryl Hannah, Deborah Winger, Robert Redford. Not great. Not great. It's not one of the standouts, guys. Not even from the 80s when he only made like 4 films. But the reason I mention this is because that Rod Stewart song from the soundtrack has been stuck in my head all week. So that's another thing going on here at the North American offices of Hemingway Land. For the record, guys, other movie stars who died in the past 7 days, Claudia Cardinal recently died. So I plan on rewatching Once Upon a Time in the West this weekend. I know many of you are hardcore and you're going to do a Visconti double feature of The Leopard and Rocco and His Brothers, but I will be rewatching Once Upon a Time in the West. And as we can all tell, I have nothing to talk about this week. So we're going to get to this week's new property in the shadows of the Ladrone Mountains, guys. You're going to like this one. Here we go. Take it away, video editor. All right, people. Pictured in front of us is the state of Minnesota. Today's property is not in this state. It is, however, a very convenient 1,200 miles south-southwest nearby New Mexico. More specifically, about 40 minutes south of Albuquerque in everyone's favorite part of the state, namely planningless and zoningless Socorro County. And as regular viewers of this channel will know, we have listed many properties in this county over the years, and subdivisions such as Rio Grande Estates over here, Valle de Mañana over here, and Rancho Rio Grande located up here. Today, however, our new listing will be in a subdivision we have only ever had a handful of properties in, namely Rancho de Bernardo, located down here. And when I say down here, guys, I mean specifically this area just west of where the I-25 meets the 60. Now, the subdivision starts down here but extends about 10 miles north along the mesa all the way up to roughly right about here. Now, it should be noted that the entire subdivision consists of generously portioned 5-acre lots, and when we start down here closer to the highway, you will find these 5-acre lots have been developed. There's some home sites out here, the roads are in good shape, utilities touching every property. It's a good area, guys. It's a good area. As we venture north, however, home sites become fewer and far between, the roads get a little less maintained, and the presence of utilities becomes virtually non-existent. And if we go about 5 miles north of that, we will come to the property we are discussing today. Now, people, let me just briefly pause the video to say the following. When our photographer went out to the land, he was out there for 2 hours. 2 hours, guys. And when he arrived, the first photos he took looked like this. Bold, blue skies, floofy, white clouds, dynamic-looking vistas, beautiful light, beautiful skies, the kind of photos you want your photographer to send back. While he was there, however, it appears the gates of hell opened outside Belen, and the photos started looking like this, and this, and this. Not great, okay? Point being, guys, most of the photos he sent back are a little ominous and not terribly flattering. Fortunately, guys, we've been in business long enough to have, at one time or another, photographed all of the nooks and all the crannies within the state of New Mexico, and that is why we have chosen to include in the photo gallery at the bottom of the listing page a second set of pictures from a property we sold out here in this exact region 2 years ago. It sits about 4 miles south of the one we're selling today and looks no different. That said, guys, we're providing both sets of photos to give you a sense of what this area looks like normally and what it looks like at the end of days. All right, now with that out of the way, we can proceed. So as we travel north throughout the subdivision, roads will go from looking like this, and finally something like this. And the few signs of life you will find in this region look like this and this. Now, as we continue to go through the photos here, I will say that I know what many of you are thinking right now, which is, oh my God, Hemingway, what are you doing? It's the middle of nowhere. There's no utilities out here. The roads are rough. What is that? Here's the thing, guys. I know, but here's the thing. This property, admittedly, is not for everyone. I recognize this. This may not be to your taste, to your liking. It's not your jam. I get that. But nary a day of a week goes by that we don't get a call from someone who's looking for land in the middle of nowhere. These are people who don't just want privacy. They want to be left alone. They don't want their ex-wife to find them, their mother-in-law, their bookie, the cops, the IRS, etc. And these, no doubt, upstanding individuals are always looking for land like this. Private, nice views, and of course, one of the major selling points about this county and subdivisions like this, namely, no zoning, no HOA, no annual dues, no covenants, and no restrictions. Meaning, you can develop the land however you see fit. And that, of course, can be an unconventional structure like an earthship home. It could be a non-conforming structure like a tiny home. It could simply be camping and RVing for indiscriminate periods of time. Or it could even be something like whatever this is. Point being, guys, you've got no restrictions on minimum square footage, height, how long it takes you to build, if you ever complete it, so on and so forth. And that kind of thing is very appealing, especially to those, we'll say, rugged individualists who don't mind hauling their own water or using solar panels. Now, this brings me to another advantage of the property, which is that this is an excellent piece of land on which to dirt bike and shoot guns. Now, let me briefly pause the video again, guys, to say the following. In the entire history of this business, I have never liked to represent a property as an excellent place to dirt bike and or shoot guns. Why, you ask? Well, in my observation, everybody with a handshake and a smile who's selling land online tends to describe their land that way. And whenever I see that, in my mind, I'm always like, I don't think you did any research on this property. I think they looked at it, don't know what a potential land buyer is looking for, don't know what the hell to say about it, and just went, I don't know, dirt bikes, shoot guns. And many times, I see this describing properties where I know these things can't be done, or where the property is so expensive that if that is all you're really looking for in life, there are more affordable alternatives. Additionally, I will also say most properties, however sparsely populated the surrounding region is, are still in residential subdivisions where there is normally some law or rule on the books that prohibits, for instance, the indiscriminate shooting of firearms, let alone zipping around on a dirt bike that makes a lot of noise and pisses everybody off. Point being, guys, despite that being an overused, cliche selling point that most of the time is never actually accurate, in this particular case, with this particular property, As remote as it is, as unpopulated as it is, and as unregulated as it is, I will make an exception and say that if your whole dream in life is to find a piece of rural and vacant land where you can dirt bike and shoot guns, this, people, is the property for you. Finally, guys, it is worth noting that for however isolated this 5-acre chunk of land may be, you are only a few miles outside of Belen and a few miles further outside of Los Lunas. Point being, you will still be within easy driving distance of groceries, supplies, and building materials, particularly important if you decide to develop the land in any substantial way, and also important because if you do decide to live out here, everyday necessities will never be too far away. Additionally, guys, as we do like to remind everyone considering buying land in this part of the state, Albuquerque is only 40 minutes north, and Elephant Butte Lake, the largest body of water in the state, is only 90 minutes south. Point being, guys, you're in this nice sweet spot where both are an easy drive away along the highway, and you get the best of both major city and major outdoor attraction. So if you would like to purchase this property, we have one of two ways in which you can do it. For cash buyers, those who can pay the entire purchase price all at once, we'll call you the uber wealthy. Simply come up here, click the Buy Now button, and you will be taken to this screen, which details the purchasing process for you, whether you elect to pay our company directly or if you prefer to close and fund the deal through title and escrow. Either way, guys, the whole thing begins with a $500 deposit and us getting you documentation within 24 hours. If you elect to pay us directly, that documentation will include a copy of a new deed, which, once approved by you, we will sign, notarize, and mail off to the county. The county will record it, and congratulations, the property will officially be yours. And yes, people, it's really that easy. If, however, you do not trust paying that much money over the internet to people you've never met, however charming and delightful the dulcet tones of their video narrator may be, fortunately for you, we have the title escrow option. And the way that one works is you place the $500 down, we get you a sale purchase agreement, you sign it, we sign it, submit it to the title company, and they do the rest. And when we say do the rest, that includes, but is not limited to, giving us a new deed to sign and requesting funds from you. Funds, which it should be noted, will be released to us only once the property has been deeded into your name and recorded with the county. If, however, you do not have all $7,500 right now today, that brings us to the second way in which you can purchase this property, and that is on terms, aka an affordable down payment followed by subsequent monthly payments. And if we click the Buy Now button on this option, we will learn that that down payment is a mere $1,850. Those subsequent monthly payments would be as little as $250. The term is only 30 months. And we're also offering 90 days same as cash, meaning that if in the next 3 months you hit the lottery or your no-good cousin pays you back that money he owes you, you will need to pay no more than the cash price. And as always, guys, between now and the time you pay the property off, you will have a land contract with our company demonstrating your equitable interest in the property. That land contract, it should be noted, includes only prepayment incentives, no prepayment penalties, and can be paid off at any time during the life of the agreement. In addition, guys, we have very helpfully linked that contract here. This way, you'll be able to review it in advance and know exactly what you'll be asked to sign before placing even $1. With all that said, going live on the website next week, we've got a property. It's located in a very nice region, guys. It's got some good road access. There's an old gas grill on the land. It's got a ladder. That's always nice. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Oh, that's right. It's got a cabin on the property. That's right, people. The property going live next week has a tiny home already built on the land. In addition, guys, this one is located in a community that encourages these kinds of unconventional, non-conforming, whatever you want to call it, structures. And that community, by the way, is located in very close proximity to a major national park. Tune in next week to find out which one. Seriously, guys, next week's going to be a good one, so tune in. In the meantime, people, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Follow us on the socials to learn more about these properties in advance, and we will see you back here in our next video.